I'm trying to work out what's going to go where in the garden, and starting one bit is a good way of seeing what's going to come next. So I'm going to start do a little rose garden. Here's going to be my driveway, and here are the roses. It's going to do 4 of them, and first of all I'm going to mark out the driveway, and I'd like the roses in a sunny patch kind of coming onto the driveway, sort of about here. So the driveway comes in here, and I suppose I want it to come along here, sort of hugging the edge here a bit, but just giving enough space for a hedge and some shrubs and things, so it makes it look like there's more there. But if I have the driveway coming along this side, then it gives a nice big view of the garden over there and doesn't break it up. So I'm going to want the driveway to be about 8 feet wide so I can get a vehicle up it. So these are 6 foot bamboos, so if I measure them 6 foot and then add another 2 feet here, so that would come in like that. And then this one here, that would come to about there. So that's sort of rough, I can always move them around a bit. And then here, this is a woodland this side, so that's going to slope up and be a bank with a wild hedge on it. And then this side there'll be some other shrubs. So the roses are going to go about here. Just check those there a minute. Roses like to go 2 feet apart. So I don't want them too close to the edge here, because I'm probably going to bank and have them raised up a little bit. So a little bit back, and then 1 foot, 2 foot, another one there, and then these two sort of there, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that, with a path probably coming into the garden through both sides, so that you can see each of the roses close up, and then also from the driveway here. That way's facing south, so that's where the sun's going to come from. So I want to keep this area quite open and sunny for the roses. These roses have been in the pots all through the winter, but now they're growing. They're quite a job to keep watered. So I've put some like rotted manure in with them, just so they've got enough nutrients, because roses like loads of manure. And now I'm going to get the ground ready for them. I like this border just raised up a bit higher than the lawn, and probably about this sort of height. And I'm not sure what's going to go here. It's going to be like a clay bank or a stone bank, I'm not sure yet. All I know is I want to make some soil this high for these 4 roses, and then whatever happens around them is another idea for another day. I'm just going to mark out like a foot around this area, the area that I need to cultivate. And because this side's going to be raised up more than that side. And one more over here, and now I can move the roses out of the way, and I know the area I want to do. So I just put these back over here again, where they've been for ages. They've perked up a lot since I gave them that manure, but they'll be really happy when they're in the ground. And roses are supposed to do well in clay, so I'm hoping they're going to do really well here. And all these types are scented, and they're all like hybrid tea roses. This is going to be raised up a bit. I'm going to utilise the turfs that are here, and I'm just going to fold the turf over and make a little bit round the edge, because it's all going to be underground, so any weeds will die, but they're going to remove any large rooted perennial weeds. Just a bit here, and then a bit down here, like that, and see how that works. And that could just fold over there like so, and then when I come to put a face on the edge, I can just work that out when the time comes, but for the moment it's all hold together. And if I fill this with new loose soil, then this bit will hold it together, and then the loose soil will come up to about here, I guess, maybe a bit higher. I'll just carry on doing that all around the edge. And go all the way around. this grass and turf and stuff will be good extra food for underneath the roses. And it's quite difficult to weed it all out, so be sufficiently buried, and that'll be good. It's quite soft, the ground, not too rocky, so it's quite easy to dig. These middle bits, I'm just going to turn them upside down because I'm going to add more soil, and wherever these are, they're going to be like a layer of nutrients under the ground. So I might as well just turn them upside down here. And of course, now I've got all this marked out, I can remove these bamboo sticks because the area is now marked out, and that won't be in the way, and I can just do the rest of these. With these ones that I turn upside down, also break them up with a spade a bit. And mix them in, make it nice and level to start with. The next job is to locate some soil. Now I want some like topsoil that's as close as possible so I don't have to cart it miles. So this little bit here should have some topsoil, so I guess I'll see what that's like. If I just go a little bit further away from where I've done this little bank here, because I can always take it back if I need to. And if I just cut out a little piece as a tester. I always like to cut right round them before I put any sort of pressure on the spade, because the handles are quite fragile if you put too much pressure on them. So just like digging up a plant, cut all the way around it first, and then it should come up fairly easily. Right here, that's lovely topsoil, so I can use that, but just get the weeds off of it first. But it's getting quite hot again now, and the sun's come out, so that can come off for now. There's no deep-rooted perennial weeds in here, so I could just get this top layer off. In fact, I could use this. That way, just cut that off. And I could put that at the bottom or something, or use that for something else. It's got lots of nutritious weeds on it, but that means that I've got just nice soil for my roses. So I'll just put those there for a minute, and then this all nice topsoil could just go in there and be broken up a bit, and then fill this up, and then add some manure and stuff. So we've got a lot more of these to add. This driveway bit is going to have something, a hardcore or some kind of surface on it, so I could drive up here. So the topsoil's got to be removed from here anyway. So it gets two jobs done at once here, digging out the driveway and building the rose bed. And this is quite nice soil here. So angle that nicely there, and cut off this top layer. If there are any perennial weeds, just dig them out. If they've got deep roots and things, just don't put them in there, just dig them out. But so far so good. And then that bit in there. And with these turfy bits, which are very nutritious, I'm just laying them down here underneath where we're going to put this bank and this hedge. So there's lots of nutrition in the ground for here. It's getting there. Just turn that one over. And if you block them on the side, it's quite a good way of getting the angle just right on the spade. So because this is a very clay soil, as I'm going up, I'm just adding a little bit of sand just to help with drainage. Not a lot, just every so often, just a handful of sand. This is like horticultural sand, just breaks the soil up a bit and gives more drainage. But I don't want to add a load. And I just break all this up. And then when it's high enough, I'll dig in some more sand and some manure, but mostly manure. And then this should be perfect for the roses, hopefully. And just break them up, and then it's be broken up more when you dig them. But for now, it just makes it easier to work with when you come to digging it. And then there's not so many air pockets, so it doesn't look more high. It's going to be higher till the rain comes on it and soaks it down a bit. But if you don't break it up, then those air pockets will be bigger, and then the amount it will drop will be greater. And I've just smoothed it off a bit with the shovel, and it's all still topsoil here, so that could go on there, and just do that bit. But I've still got a bit more to add. I want it to be raised up here, so it's nearly done now. Just a few more to go. If you've got a large rooted weed like this thistle here, you want to get that out, because the roots will grow again, or a dandelion or a dock or something like that. I'm just going to cut around it for speed's sake, and that should come out, and get as much soil off as I can, and that could just be lobbed over there with the other soil, because that's going to be woods over there, so it doesn't matter. And then cut the rest of the grass off as before. So always prop them up against something so you can make a nice clean cut. I'm going to cut off the top inch or two. I just neatly go through it so it just comes off in a nice little sliver. Of course, you can stack them up and they just turn back into well-nutritioned soil. And then that bit up there, and then this bit over here. Always lean these turfs up so they're resting against the side, and then it just stays nicely in place. I'm going to cut about an inch or two all the way along, and then you get these nice little sliver bits here, which will just go there nicely. Ooh. And these big blocks that can go up there and be broken up. Now, I just had a thought. If the driveway comes along to here, rather than having just a little bit of shrubs along here, why not have the bank and the hedge right here, and then I can claim all this little extra bit of woodland here. So the bank can come to here, be a bank on this side, and then slope gradually down to here, and then when you're down here looking up at this really steep bank here, then having a bit that's not so steep would make it seem much bigger and give distance for down there. And also from here, if you stood on the driveway looking over the hedge, you'd see a sloping woodland going down to a deep bit, and then the other side of the valley over there, so it would make the whole thing look bigger from both sides. And of course it would increase the surface area a lot and make it actually bigger, and give us another kind of 3 or 4 little strip of woodland here, which would be nice. Every little bit helps. And then the woodland comes right up to the driveway with a nice little bank here with all wildflowers in it. I think that would be nice. And then the driveway, and then opening up onto the garden that way. That should do. Now I'll put some manure on. A big bag of manure in here, which is all our goose manure, which has been rotting in a pile for the whole winter and autumn, and now it's all really nicely rotted down. Roses like tons and tons of rotted manure. Really like loads of it, and it makes them grow well and have really big flowers. And usually it takes about 6 months to rot manure. Best in a pile 5 foot by 5 foot, but it's not always possible to have one that's big. And just put a load on like that, and then when I've put that on, I'm going to put a little bit more sand and then dig it all in, and then plant the roses and put some more of this around them, like a kind of manure mulch, so they got loads and loads of manure. Bit more sand as well, bit more than I've put before. So far I've just put 2 handfuls like that in. They're really very little, but here I'm putting a double handful, maybe 2 double handfuls. And it's nice to have a bit of sand in the soil because it balances the pH a bit. Because sandy soil's usually acidic and clay soil's usually alkaline. But that should do. And now I climb up here and dig it in. This is just like a little microcosm of garden, so the garden would continue on here and continue on over there. So it's just a sort of basic bit holding it up. So all I want is a flat bit here big enough for 4 roses. So I'll dig that in. Digging it to like a depth big enough to plant those pots in. Breaking up any bits. So now there's a great bit there that hasn't been broken up. Just digging all the manure and the sand into this like a top layer, like a fork depth. And just like a would a vegetable garden really. Just level it off as best you can, breaking up any little extra lumps in the process. Now I'm just going to measure out the roses and make sure there's enough room for them. 1, 2, let's see. 1, 2, yeah. That's a bit further over. These 2. Now, these roses should have been pruned back in the winter, but they weren't, so I'm just going to let them grow. It's too late to prune them back now. And then next autumn, winter, I'll prune them back properly. I'd say 2 feet right there, and 2 feet there, I think. Let's see, 1, 2, not quite so big there, a bit more that way. 1, 2, okay, that should do. Just put this one over here for a minute. And dig a little hole here. It's quite a deep pot. Yeah, I wish I could get a bit bigger than the hole. Yeah. I'm just going to see if that's deep enough now. Might be a bit too deep. Yeah, a little bit too deep. So a bit back in. That's better. Because roses are grafted, you don't want to bury the grafted bit. Because then you'll get the, it's not good, you know. So, carefully get him out. Giving them a soaking earlier. Ooh, looks like that was repotted quite recently. So, I could go back there, a bit more soil in there. And make sure the bit that's grafted is above the ground. The last one here. I think that should be deep enough. Carefully get this one out. you want the soil in the pot really to be the same level as the soil. Like here you see the colour of the compost here at the top of the pot, so level with the top of the soil completely. And then drag all this stuff down and put it down the sides. Make sure it's gently pushed down and broken up. And lots of manure. I can lift up a little bit. Ow. And all these ones are scented. So I don't think it's worth growing a rose unless it's scented. And all of them should be the ones that carry on flowering, not just having them in June and then stopping, but they should be ones that go on all through the summer. So hopefully that's what they'll be. I think they're kind of like pinks and purples. So that's it. And I guess now I'm going to give them some water. It's very useful to have the ponds because we never have to use any bought water to water the garden, and pond water is loads more nutritious. It's got all the pond life and fish and everything, so it's like a feed as well as water. It's always important to give them really good soaking. I'm going to level that off a bit more there. Probably one watering can for each of them at least, and then keep them well watered until they're properly established. So that's that one watered. And then this one. This will help them really settle in and start helping the soil to soak down as well. They look a bit isolated now, but when the border carries on, it will look more right. So this might carry on a bit more roses here, and then it'll be like a bit raised up from the lawn. So this garden will continue somehow, but for the moment it's just propped up like this with the turfs. So I need just a few more watering cans. So each one's had a whole watering can for now, but I'm going to keep on adding water regularly until they're established. Probably for this entire year, but mostly for now and for the following few months. So eventually the roots will go down and be more established. They won't need the watering as much, just like any shrub. And now I'm going to just give them a bit of a dressing of manure as well. So a bit more of this. Where did I put the fork? Oh, there. Probably not as much as I dug in just now, but just a nice amount all around. So probably about 5 or 6 forkfuls like this. And make sure they've got tons and tons of food. Now I get another 2 cans of water, so that I could just give the whole thing another watering. And this last bit of heavy watering will make all the manure wet, get the worms all activated, and it will just help a lot. And this should be really good. So in the future I'll continue the border in some way, but I'm not really sure what I want to do the side of it. So this will be like the first bit of this border area. That gives it a nice soak. And then on top of this we've also got a little bit of the driveway dug out as well. So they should hopefully really like it in here. So there we go. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And then if you press the little me, which is somewhere down there, you can see all my other videos. And I shall see you next time.